Another way to try and stay cool this weekend, open this weekend, and exhibits and stories 7 years in the making.
The Spirits of Del Chivo, Goat Valley, tells the story of a Stockton community torn down. The people were replaced, their history erased.
Photojournalist Sayana Williams has the story behind this remarkable exhibit.
We have an exhibit, a wonderful exhibit of a neighborhood that was demolished. It was done away with, and it was an area where poor people lived, and a lot of Mexican and black mostly lived there. Barrio del Chivo, which in English is Goat Valley.
There's markets, filbert, maybe Golden Gate.
It was a close-knit community, and they all looked out for each other. When somebody was sick, they said they didn't go to doctors. They all went to church and prayed for the person. They said they never went hungry because even if the person of the house wasn't there, they could always go in the house, borrow sugar, borrow whatever they needed. No guns, they said, no weapons. It was just a loving community. Everybody knew everyone and everybody helped everyone. The government was giving cities like Stockton grants to look for areas that they consider slum areas. This was unfortunately the area selected by the city council to demolish. The reason they declared it a slum area was because they said it was unhealthy. There was no indoor plumbing, and they just said it was not safe to be there. 50% of the people there owned their houses, and so they didn't want to leave their houses. Some of the quotes that they have and we have around say that, you know, some of their houses were cardboard boxes, but it was their home and they were happy there. They had to find another place to live and they didn't have the money. So that was one of the big concerns. Some of them were offered public housing and they didn't want it because they said, well, we have a home. Public housing is where people don't have homes. And they were concerned. The city did buy their houses, but of course they couldn't buy something at that price. When they were discussing it, it caused a lot of bad feelings with the people, and they had meetings, and a lot of the community people would come in and they wanted a self-help program instead of demolishing and doing away with the neighborhood. I have copies of the letters, original letters, and the presentations that they made, and so that makes it very interesting because you know you can see how the people felt and the things that they wanted to say, they said it. I even have a letter from Dolores Huerta. Everything that I had heard was word of mouth. I had never seen anything written. So I wanted to do a factual exhibit because I think it's important to see it in writing. And I had a lot of trouble because there was nothing in writing. There's nothing on it, really. The only thing I really got that makes a difference is the letters from the city council meetings of the time. And that was in the late 50s, early 60s. This exhibit has been like 7 years in the making. It just didn't happen, mainly because the information was so hard to get a hold of.
And here's what you need to know. That exhibit is now at the Mexican Heritage Center in downtown Stockton. That's located on South Sutter Street.
It runs through next Friday, July 28th.